We're here with Susan Schneider tonight, who's written the wonderful book Fire in My Ears. And Susan, one question I have. Was your novel somewhat autobiographical?
Well, lots of people ask that. And the truth is that none of the stories in it really happened. I made them up. And the characters, I mean, everyone of my generation anyway, has a bunch of aunts and uncles, and it's easy to use one's own and other people's aunts and uncles as models, but none of the events in the book are true. My grandmother didn't live with us. She never told me any stories, and that was all a product of imagination.
Tell us about Mary, the main protagonist in your novel.
She feels as though there's a curse on her and that it's being played out.
The grandmother continued to tell Sarah wonderful stories,
which frightens Sarah some of the time.
It not only frightens Sarah, but it has a deep impact on the reader. And Susan, tell me, what are you working on now?
Well, I'm working on another novel, this one about a young woman who actually she goes to Israel, and as a result of that trip meets who she thinks is the love of her life.
Susan, I find the way you write like someone who makes a fine quilt out of words. From the very first page, I was mesmerized, and I just wanted to continue on with your book. Our program is Crime Club, and you discussed with me that your book really wasn't of the crime genre, but I had told you that after reading it, there were a few crimes in it, so I felt that it was applicable for this program.
Yeah, there are a few pretty nasty crimes that are incorporated into the story.
Yeah, especially what happens when Mary goes swimming.
Well, I read the first chapter, which I think you can get as a sneak preview on Amazon without even buying the book, just to see if you'd like it. And I read that chapter to a book group at a local synagogue here in New York, and one woman at the end said, "How did you know my family?"
Yes.
And so I think the message there is, and other people echoed, oh yeah, that's true, it's like my family. I think the message is that it has a certain familiarity to anybody who's the grandchild, anybody in my generation who's the grandchild or even the child of immigrants who wonders how to fit into America, how to become a real American without exactly abandoning the cultural roots that lie in back. It doesn't matter what your your own particular ethnic group is. Trying to become an American is not necessarily smooth and easy.
In my Amazon review of your book, I compared it to Fiddler on the Roof because although Fiddler on the Roof was basically about the Jewish people, it really was about immigrants coming to America from everywhere. Your saga had so many of the aspects of Fiddler on the Roof with really a lot more intrigue and suspense than Fiddler on the Roof, and that's why I think the readers will really enjoy it.
And none of the protagonists in Fiddler on the Roof do anything wrong in order to better their own situations, and my character did. And she felt she was forced to, but she did, and regretted it.
Susan, you bring out the fact that a Jewish person around 1900 who was drafted into the army, a Jewish man, would have to serve for 25 years, almost like a prison term.
You know, it's interesting that you bring that up because I knew that story. That was something that was discussed in my family, like in many others. And so I did some research to find out if it was just one of those myths. And it was true.
Yeah.
And that's where I found a lot of the factual stuff that I wove into the story, by doing research. All of the settings are accurate. All of the experience in steerage, crossing the Atlantic is accurate, and I try to make it resonate with realism.
Susan, it took me a couple days to read your book, but when I was at the final page, I just kept thinking and thinking for days after about many, many of the scenes in your book. And I think that's what a good book is all about, is where it really has an impact, where the stories carry forward and you keep remembering them. Susan, thank you so much for coming on Crime Club. I sure enjoyed speaking with you, and I'm sure that many of our readers are going to go out and get your book. It's on Amazon, Fire in My Ears. It's a terrific novel, and I'm sure you'll all enjoy it.
My great pleasure.
There's a link to Susan Schneider's book, Fire in My Ears, on our website on Crime Club. It goes right to Amazon, and you can purchase the book that way. We really appreciate Susan coming on our program.